London's homeless will be offered 2-week stay in hotel over Christmas.
Here's a summary of the article.
London's homeless will be offered a 2-week stay in a hotel over Christmas, with 3 meals a day and virtual appearances from celebrities. Homelessness charity Crisis is unable to use large-scale dormitories to house rough sleepers over the festive period due to the COVID-19 transmission risk. Instead, in a break with nearly 50 years of tradition, the charity has paid for 517 hotel rooms at 4 London hotels which were provided by London Hotel Group for cheaper rates. It will also let them know when health services, including a podiatrist, can be used in the hotel. Job losses, a short-lived eviction and a lack of government-funded hotel stays in the second lockdown are feared to have not been enough to help those desperately in need. A further 38,450 households were assessed as being threatened with homelessness within 56 days over the same period. In the first lockdown, 15,000 fully funded hotel stays were offered to Britain's homeless.
This post received a score of 45,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than what? Seeing this a lot in this thread. We can't solve all problems 100%, but I applaud this as a start. 2 weeks, 3 hot meals a day, then what? Hopefully well-nourished people who have had a good night's sleep, or many good nights of sleep, will be better equipped to try to find resources to help themselves after those 2 weeks are up. Even if it's not everybody, if just a few people get a leg up from having 2 weeks of food and shelter, it's made a difference.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, comes to mind. Really needed to see this comment. Not in reference to this article by myself. Been in a rut lately and this is the mentality I need that I didn't realize I needed to read this before I fully grasped what is going on with myself. A third eye has been opened. Thank you, random person.
I think many of us are falling into this rut, but the best is yet to come. It's just on pause for us all and we're all in the same boat.
I'm so sick of being on pause. I feel I've reached the point where I have to make some really big steps just to get some momentum going again, and it's scary as fuck.
I've found some inspiration listening to Alan Watts recently, specifically Alan Watts' Understanding Your Own Shadows, and also What You Weren't Taught.
Are there only 500 homeless people in the city?
I bet that's the number of street homeless people on the council housing waiting list, definitely not the number of actual homeless people.
Not quite. Every year councils do a snapshot of their area's rough sleepers, by going round one evening and basically doing a headcount. All the guidance repeatedly reminds them that you can't use this to estimate the actual number of street homeless, but hey, they do it anyway.
Well, it gives you a better an idea than not doing that.
Coming from someone who has 15 years working with the homeless, this is such a kind gesture, but will likely end very poorly for the hotel staff. Yes, some homeless people are just down on their luck and working to get back on their feet. The addicts and mentally ill tend to have no respect for others' property or resent nice things altogether. I can only hope it doesn't cause them to avoid charitable acts in the future.
As someone who works in a hotel, this was my first thought, and I'm really glad you mentioned it. Awesome thing they're doing for the homeless, but that is going to be an unbelievably miserable time for every employee involved.
Get a lot of training to identify and be effective dealing with different levels of addiction and mental disorders. There are always multiple people working together and rarely someone alone with an unknown guest. There are also very strict rules of conduct with near zero tolerance for some types of behavior. Also, there are stringent rules for the treatment of the facilities and clear expectations as to the level of cleanliness expected in halfway houses and shelters.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.